Our memories and thoughts, they have a habit of appearing uninvited. So let's try something different here. For the next few breaths, let's take control. With every inhale and exhale, intentionally summon up a few of your favorite memories, those golden snapshots that make you smile. Maybe it's a happy moment from your childhood, laughing with friends in your teenage years, a hug from someone you love, or a playful moment with a pet. Bask in the warm, glowing comfort of these scenes as they play before you. You see, we often hear people talking about speaking their truth these days. It's an interesting concept because it implies that there's a gap between the factual truth and the personal truth shaped by our own perceptions. Two people can experience the same event and walk away with very different interpretations, both convinced that their version is the truth. Because ultimately, my truth is something that's been crafted inside our minds, filtered through our experiences, emotions, and biases. Highlighting this gap might make it sound like you don't believe the other person, but that's not the case. It's just that in a world where two people can hold conflicting truths about the same event, it's crucial to understand how powerful and subjective our perception really is. Take Isaac Lidsky, for example. He's a businessman, a Harvard graduate, and a former actor, and he became the first blind law clerk for the U.S. Supreme Court. Diagnosed at 13 with a rare retinal disease, his eyesight began to deteriorate until he was completely blind by 25. For most people, losing one's sight would feel like the end of something critical, like a devastating loss. But for Isaac, it opened up a whole new perspective on life. He realized that human beings are constantly distorting reality. What we see isn't always the truth. It's a filtered experience, reconstructed by our brains to fit a story. You see, sight isn't an objective reality. It's processed through layers of memory, emotion, and personal bias before it becomes the reality we believe we're seeing. This is why two people can see the same thing, but their interpretations are worlds apart. Your brain is constantly taking in data and building a picture of what's in front of you. But here's the catch. It doesn't build this picture based purely on facts. It mixes in your understanding of the world, your memories, your opinions, your experiences. So, what you think you're seeing is really a construction shaped by everything you've ever thought, felt, or experienced. Even your emotions can alter what you perceive. If you're feeling scared or anxious, a perfectly harmless situation might look dangerous to you. On the flip side, if you're happy and relaxed, you might overlook genuine threats. This constant interplay between sight and emotion is happening at lightning speed in your brain, often without you even realizing it. Your brain is capable of processing 2 billion pieces of visual information every second, way more than any other sense. This means that your sight isn't as reliable as you'd like to think. Your brain is taking shortcuts, making assumptions, and filling in gaps all the time. And this doesn't just apply to sight. If you've ever been walking down the street and felt like every hill looked steeper than it really was because you were tired, or noticed suddenly that everyone seems to be driving the same red car right after you decided you wanted one, you've experienced this filtering firsthand. Your brain is always trying to conserve energy, so it highlights what it thinks is relevant based on your current mindset and emotions. It can make you see things that aren't really there and make you believe that challenges are bigger than they truly are. This is where it gets tricky. When fear or uncertainty creeps into our minds, our brain starts building worst-case scenarios. We see obstacles and threats that might not even exist. If you're facing a big decision, a career change, or a new opportunity, your mind might conjure up every possible way it could go wrong, tricking you into holding back. But here's the thing. Just because you can see it vividly doesn't mean it's true. It's your brain's way of trying to shield you from potential pain. That's where Isaac Lidsky's insight becomes invaluable. You have to learn to see with your eyes wide open. He talks about cultivating awareness and questioning the reality your brain is feeding you. Just because something feels real doesn't mean it is. You have to ask yourself, where is this story coming from? What's fueling it? Experience, insecurity, or truth? You're the one creating your reality, so you have a responsibility to question it. It's not easy, but the moment you become aware that your brain is feeding you a filtered story, you can start rewriting it. By ignoring the subtle power your brain has to shape your perceptions, You make it easier for yourself to blame others or make excuses when things don't go your way. But when you own up to the fact that you're the architect of your own experience, everything changes. So, here's the truth. You can't fix what you won't face. And facing your reality means understanding that your brain might be holding you back more than the world around you is. Don't let your eyes deceive you. The only reality you need to believe in is the one you consciously create. This is your life. Own it. Shape it. Control it. You have the power to see beyond the illusions your brain conjures up and craft a reality that serves you. Keep your eyes open, your mind sharp, and your spirit unyielding. Until next time, stay vigilant and never settle for anything less than your own truth.